You'll find plenty to keep you entertained at your local View this June.
Gru meets his twin brother Drew in Despicable Me 3.
The legendary Amazonian warrior attempts to change the course of World War I in Wonder Woman.
Tom Cruise's The Mummy kickstarts a new era for Universal's iconic monsters.
Edgar Wright is back behind the wheel with his latest movie, Baby Driver.
And Arthurian legend and giant robots collide in Transformers: The Last Knight. Hi, welcome to What to Watch this month. I'm Rihanna.
And I'm Stefan.
And first up, we are talking about Despicable Me 3.
Get down, turn around, show me what you got. You a pow pow juggernaut, take it up a notch. Oh my God, wow, take 'em out, let me take a shot. I'ma sit down, get a drink, let you work it out. Step back.
So I am a huge fan of the Despicable Me franchise, and I loved the Minions movie, and I love the Minions in general. But what's really exciting about this one is that we have two of Steve Carell with Gru and his twin brother Drew. I mean, that's exciting.
That is ridiculously exciting. And also, I mean, the Minions, I just want to see them every year. I feel like if it's not a Despicable Me movie, then at least a Minions movie needs to come out every single year.
Hands in the air!
But this is really exciting because Balthazar Bratt is the new villain, and that's voiced by Trey Parker. And obviously, for more adult audiences will know that Trey Parker is the co-creator and lots of the voices in South Park, and obviously the Book of Mormon.
Yeah.
Oh, what about that? What? Oh, girls!
And also the comedic aspect. I mean, Russell Brand is in this.
Steve
Coogan is in this. Kristen Wiig returns. So I just think that the
Jenny
jokes.
Slate's in it as well.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
So the jokes are just going to come thick and fast from all directions.
Goodbye.
And next up is Wonder Woman.
Never let your guard down. You expect the battle to be fair.
Following on from Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad last year, DC are now back with their latest movie, and it's Wonder Woman, which is really exciting, directed by Patty Jenkins, who of course brought us Monster, bringing a bit of a gritty, naturalistic take to obviously an otherwise fantastical genre. What are we excited about when it comes to this?
So what I'm really looking forward to about this is that we haven't had a female-led superhero movie since 2005. And not only is Gal Gadot the heroine, but we also have a villain played by a woman. And that is so rare, so that's going to be brilliant to see.
You will soon find out.
So yeah, I really like that aspect of it, and also just this blending of reality. I mean, the sort of harsh severity of the war.
And it's World War I, isn't it? It looks incredibly gritty on screen.
Oh yeah, but to combine that with the kind of the real surrealist, fantastical elements is such a tough thing to get right. But they've completely got it spot on in this movie. It's one of the great kind of DC superhero movies, and very self-contained as well. It's very much an origin story that's very much of its own. You don't need to be a real kind of geek about the whole kind of DC universe. It can very much be appreciated on its own terms. It's a really exciting project.
That's really good to hear. And from one action blockbuster to another, next up is The Mummy.
Get down! Go! Oh no, we're gonna die!
The Mummy is back. So this is essentially a reboot from the 1999 version starring Brendan Fraser. And that creeped me out enough, you know, those scarab beetles under the skin. And this feels even more amped up. Tom Cruise is sticking with his action hero king title in this. He loves a plane stunt, as we know. And in this, you see him strapped to a plane bound for Earth. I mean, what else are they going to do?
But he is one of the most dependable leading men, isn't he, when it comes to kind of big blockbusters. He's almost just a stamp of approval now for any kind of... When you know Tom Cruise and you think, well, that's probably going to be quite good, isn't it? And also Russell Crowe is obviously involved.
Yes.
And Sophia Boutella is playing the Mummy, and she's really sort of getting some great credits. I mean, in Kingsman, she was great.
She was great in Kingsman.
And Star Trek, the most recent Star Trek, so she's really promising. But it's just the way this whole franchise is steeped in this kind of ancient Egyptian mythology. I love the kind of clues and the kind of... they have to solve all these puzzles. And it's
The traps, the booby traps they have to go through.
Yeah.
This isn't a tomb. It's a prison. Nick!
And I feel like it's got that real Indiana Jones vibe as well, because in Indiana Jones, obviously, you have the big rolling stone. And in the trailer for The Mummy, you've got the rolling stones.
That was smooth.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's next?
Anyway, right, okay. Next up is Baby Driver.
You've been my driver for every job since we met. You're the best in the business.
Edgar Wright is back in the director's chair with Baby Driver, and obviously he's most famous for the Cornetto trilogy, and he did Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. This is a bit of a new sort of film for him. This is a sort of heist thriller. What do we know about this one?
This stars Ansel Elgort, who we know from the Divergent series and The Fault in Our Stars. Very teenage mainstream movies, and so it's really cool to see him playing a bit of an older role, a bit more of a mature role as a getaway driver.
I'm gonna need you behind the wheel again.
One more job and I'm done.
One more job, and we're straight.
Also Lily James, who is British actress from Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. Cinderella. And she's alongside Jamie Foxx, John Hamm and Kevin Spacey. So this feels like a really well-rounded, cool cast. And what we know that Edgar Wright is really obsessed with is music. And so the soundtrack for this is not only just going to be there in the background, but is actually the entire premise of the movie.
Yeah, he sort of times all of his heists, doesn't he, to certain songs. And music is a very big part of Baby's life, so I'm really excited to see how the kind of soundtrack is kind of intertwined, as you said, as a narrative device, if nothing else. But really what I'm most excited about is just the tone. I think Edgar Wright combines comedy with drama and thriller and sci-fi. He's one of those directors that just moves so effortlessly between different genres, but comedy is always the one thing that exists and is very prominent in a lot of his stuff. So I'm really excited to see how he sort of injects comedy into what feels like a very traditionalist heist movie.
Wait, I gotta start the song over. Okay, go.
The soundtrack for this is going to be the soundtrack for 2017.
Well, the Guardians might have something to say about that,
Maybe.
but this does look pretty cool.
So next up, it's Transformers: The Last Night.
It started as a legend, one of the greatest of all.
Michael Bay is back, and visually he is unparalleled, I think. And with Transformers, you know exactly what you're going to get. These incredible explosions, amazing robotic choreography. What are you excited about?
Well, I think it's just Michael Bay is just a crowd pleaser. He knows what to do when it comes to these sort of movies, and these films mean so much to him. They're real passion projects, and that really comes through on the screen. And like you said, he just knows how to do big scale set pieces, and that looks so incredible up on the big screen. And you know, we're into the 5th instalment into this franchise, and there's a reason for that. People keep seeing them, and they're really popular for a reason. You know, they're really unrelenting entertainment they're very uncynical movies that just say, look, we're just going to offer you pure kind of unadulterated kind of fun for the next 2 hours or so.
Also, Anthony Hopkins is in this, and I feel like he's going to really elevate the series. And Michael Bay himself has said this film really gets back into the groove of what the original few films were about.
But also, I think it's an interesting kind of analysis of just kind of human condition, our relationship with technology. I think that Optimus Prime is kind of at the equation in this movie, and he's a real kind of emblem of leadership and strong moral character. And without him, I think we're going to see a kind of war break out between mankind and the Transformers. And you know, that's always fun. That's always good fun. Also coming to view this month, Will Ferrell and Amy Poehler become suburban casino barons in The House.
Take that alive for one night only, as their spectacular Wonderland tour is broadcast live from the O2.
And NT Live, Peter Pan sees J.M. Barrie's timeless tale fly onto the National Theatre stage for a special live performance. So if you want to go and see the Transformers Last Night or any of the movies we've spoken about today, then head to myview.com and book your tickets now.